Welcome to the Sleon Productions podcast, where we interview authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. But today we have an AI specialist, something that we've been gathering into this past year or two. And we got Grant Kurz, the co-founder of GPT Tuesdays, co-host of Software Internals, founder of CryptoScenarios, which has been acquired by CoinLedger.io, and founder of Consultabit. Grant, welcome to the Sleon Productions podcast.
Thank you so much for the amazing introduction, and a great friend of mine. I'm super excited to be here and talk more about AI and our interactions and getting this show on the road.
Yes, I met Grant about a year ago at this meeting that we've been putting together called Chat GPT Tuesdays. Actually, Grant is actually that who's the one that puts it together. I am the one that goes and becomes a participant. But it is a meeting where we learn about new stuff on AI. We got companies or startups that come in and present their projects and things like that. But before we get into those meetings, Grant, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So my name is Grant. I've been an AI engineer for quite some time. I've been a software engineer for over 10 years. I've helped us automate factories for companies such as Coca-Cola and Stanley Black& and Decker during my time at Syscon International, where we helped to automate data analytics. I also integrated generative AI RAG systems as well into the factories. And I also created applications in the past, such as CryptoScenarios, which reached 60,000 users per month, and I sold that to CoinLedger.io. And most recently, developed an AI call center for one of my clients that was picked up by one of the top political campaigns. So that's a little bit about my backstory. And with all that, decided to start GP Tuesdays, which is the premier and longest running weekly AI meetup and event series here in Miami.
Yes. GPT Tuesday is definitely an event that is becoming big in Miami. But let's first talk about AI. You've just said your experience. How long have you been in the artificial intelligence world?
Right. So when I started software engineering around over 10 years ago, I first got into Python because I was always, in love with AI. I was watching different systems being created. I remember, they with the machine learning reinforcement learning model, they uh, beat the one of the top StarCraft 2 teams and professional players in the world. And I thought that was incredible, incredible. So for a long time, I've been working my way up to become an AI engineer. And over the last few years, I've been now an AI engineer, really getting much more exposure and getting larger. When LLMs first when ChatGPT first started hitting the scene, I started developing applications around them as well. Things like language learning AI assistants. I built that earlier last year, and RAG systems as well for different factories. So I would say for the past few years, I've been an AI engineer.
Yeah, ChatGPT exploded, I bet, around 2022, 2023, and it became a big thing, became mainstream. But Grant, how long ago did you know that this thing was going to be big? Like, was it kind of like came out like at a surprise, or you heard whispers for a while?
AI generally, or you're
AI,
saying
yeah,
ChatGPT? Oh yeah,
generally, and specifically with these AI chatbots.
absolutely. So generally, bigger picture, right? I knew that artificial intelligence would be huge. I mean, it was already being utilized in multiple industries across the world on the machine learning side, and completely refactoring and improving systems around the world and for different companies. And from a first principles perspective, I figured at the end of the day, humans, we are physical and we are bound by the limits of physics, and same for different systems, whether they're artificial or biological. So it seemed logical that over time, AI systems would start to reach very, very strong capacity, including reaching potentially human capacity as well. So I've always had that in the back of my mind. And then when I saw LLMs hit the scene, being able to essentially provide human-like conversation, even with the fact that they're essentially predicting the next token, I knew immediately that there was something here because just the fact that we could utilize unstructured data to we can essentially put in unstructured data and get structured data out is incredible. It's actually something that hasn't really been able to be done before at this level. So I knew pretty quickly that this was going to be game changing because also it just seemed logical that over time these systems would also improve and improve. And how good it was then was already pretty amazing. I mean, it was still much much worse than it was now, right? There were a lot of hallucinations, but it just seemed logical that it would continue to improve.
One term in the AI, artificial intelligence world, is generative AI. Grant, you specialize that a whole lot. What is the term, or is it just a term for what you're doing right now?
Right. So I would say, what is generative AI? So artificial intelligence generally, a lot of different systems can do predictions. They can help with classification based off of different inputs that you put in, with the different labels that you put in as well. But with generative AI, now you can put in an input and you can actually generate or create something based off of all those internal classifications and create something new. And it's just phenomenal. So before, you might be able to make predictions, right? But now you can create works of art. You can create conversations. You can create you can create conversations back and forth. You can generate phone calls through the generation of output of text, and then you could generate, as we talked about before, images with stable diffusion. I mean, the list goes on and on. And now we're also able to generate videos and etc. And so this level of creation is something that is new, and that is something that is going to continue to improve over time. And so I would consider generative AI essentially the ability to generate and create new output from input of data, whether that's unstructured or structured, and doing it in a way that's from, let's say, like a prompt, right? All you have to do is give a few sentences, a few examples, give it a role, depending on what kind of item that you're generating. Of course, if you're trying to generate image, that would look different than if you're trying to generate a conversation or text. But you catch the idea.
Voice agent, something that you have been working
Mm,
on recently. Something that I've solved for the first time was through Google, but I'm not sure if they use machine learning. Yeah, they probably did. Uh, One of your big projects is doing voice agents. Tell us a little bit about that.
absolutely. So something that I helped build in the past for a client very recently is the ability to essentially create an AI call center for the client. And so, what does this mean? What are voice agents? Voice AI agents are essentially what you might expect with something like a chat GPT, but imagine you're talking with it over the phone to perform a particular business function, right? So maybe you want to schedule a meeting, maybe you want more information about the company, and you want to give it your FAQs or company descriptions so that it can go ahead and talk from the knowledge of that, right? And you want to make sure it doesn't give out, false prices, fake information. You want to keep it grounded with proper guardrails, right? So those are some characteristics of a voice AI agent. They typically, you can create one yourself, but I think that's a lot of challenge to actually build your own framework. I would recommend using a framework that already exists, something like a Bland AI or VAPI, which is something that I've built with in the past. And with Bland AI, for example, you can create conversational pathways to create the different paths that the agent will take. But sometimes, let's digress or back up for a moment, because when you hear voice AI, do you ever think about those bank agents, for example? Those bank call systems where you talk and it's
Yeah, yeah,
super
that I get them
clumsy.
some spam bots. They're like standard messages, and they kind of like predict a little bit, but I mean, it's pretty much you're talking to like a recording, pretty much.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that this is not that people realize that this is not that, right? That type of system is an older system. It has text to speech, but it's very forced. It's just following a script, right? There's no intelligence there. But with a voice AI agent, it's actually like you're having a somewhat of or you are having a conversation with the agent, and it's guiding towards the business function. Like, for example, if I called a human customer support representative, representative, and I ask some questions. Can you tell me more about your company? What are your prices? Blah blah blah. The voice AI agent would answer those things politely, and then maybe ask, "Is there more stuff I can help with?" Maybe the voice AI agent has a few functions. Maybe it's to just give information, schedule a meeting, and if everything's been answered, they don't want to schedule a meeting. Maybe it's to hang up, right? Or maybe it's to even get a political campaign donation, or send out a Stripe link through text message in a human conversational way, right? So if imagine you just have a conversation like that. Hi, can you tell me more about your pricing? And it's like, yeah, sure, sounds good. Our pricing is X, Y, Z. Is there some more stuff you want to know about? And it'll have different labels that essentially will guide the flow. So let's say I say I want more information with the company. One of those labels in the past, the AI agent will take. It's like, okay, it wants to know about more of the company, so I'm going to follow this prompt, right? The prompt is about reading in information about the company and answering the questions relevantly. Or maybe I say, can you tell me, I want to schedule a meeting. You might say, there might be another prompt that gives rules about, schedule meeting times, right? I don't want to schedule a meeting on the weekend. I want it between 8 and 5. And I want to take in a list of available meeting dates, right? So a voice AI agent has all those functions. Yeah.
Quite a natural process, and I do think that is going to be a big thing for companies, small to large. I think they will take advantage of the situation because, hey, maybe they don't have a customer service team. Maybe they need something like this
Right.
that could be. But how? I mean, from your experience, has it been perfected? Is it like it's really good that anyone could use right now? Or
I would say um, it's not quite there yet where everyone can like, oh, let's just spin one up, let's create one. I would say that there is a lot of work involved, right? You can create, there's conversational pathways. I think you can create basic versions, yes, pretty simply. uh, I just want it to answer some questions and that's it, right? After that, if you have any more questions, no, okay, well, thank you so much, right? But if you wanted to get in depth and be able to schedule meetings, etc., I would recommend either finding a company provider, that can provide that function for you, right? You can just sign up for their SaaS or something and have it book into like a Google Calendar, or finding a good developer that can help integrate the Bland AI or FAPI or whatever system, that framework in the backend is being used. And three, Mm, I would say though that it's getting better and better and more versatile. So what's amazing is that what, for example, in the AI system that I built, right, it's good. It gets a lot of the functions done. It's just going to take, I think, probably around 6 more months around then for the AI systems in the back end to also be upgraded to like the newest models, right? But what's great is that every single year, in fact, we know this, we see this every few weeks at this point. There's like something new is coming out. There's another upgrade in the models. And so what's great is that you can create the entire system for your company, and all you have to do is wait a few weeks, and the models are going to get more and more intelligent. And same for your customer support representatives that are AI.
as Grant said, these models come out ever so often, months, maybe weeks at times. One area that I've seen AI really well, which I want to bring up, is video editing. I think that
Right.
has been done really well versus the images part.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is an area that I'm getting deeper into, but it's been phenomenal to see, like items with companies and tools such as Descript, right? You can change the transcript and it changes the video. And there's a few other ones. What are some of them that you know?
I've used primarily Opus
Right.
AI. No, it's
Eclipse. Yeah.
called Opus Clips.
Yeah.
I've heard
Oh,
the other one. I think it's called Discord or something with a D. I can't remember the name of it. But Opus saves me a lot of time. I used to use Otter.ai, which I still use for transcribing, and then I'll put it into my video editor. But Opus does everything, does the transcribing and edits the clips out. So it's rapid. It's within 15 minutes that I get all my clips out after
yeah. It's
after a
absolutely.
upload.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing the fact that you can just give a long form video, and so now you're using that, you said, in your own content creation. How is the quality that you've been finding with Opus? Like, you have to kind of like select some that you find right, and then go with the ones that you like.
I mean, the clips they offer me are pretty spot on. I
Nice.
mean, I would say like 90% is pretty good accurate. Of course, they give you tools to edit the video. It's not going to be 100%. Like they give you the option to take away, the ums,
Right.
the no audio part of the video. Obviously the transcription, I think overall for any AI platform is not 100%, but I would give it a 96%. It's pretty
Right. That's
accurate.
good.
Obviously it depends on the pronunciation, the accent, it all comes to like right into play. But I'm really, really impressed with the video AI. And then obviously with Opus, I think it's owned Opus is actually owned by OpenAI, I think. I think they just
Oh,
bought it this past couple of months ago. So, because I see whenever I go to their website, yeah, it's Opus Clips by OpenAI. So I guess they bought it recently. So I thought that was really standard, pretty cool thing. So you and
yeah.
I met on a weekly meeting. Um, you host GPT Tuesdays Miami. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So, what is GP Tuesdays? GP Tuesdays is a group of, more so a community of AI engineers, entrepreneurs, enthusiasts, and now even students that are looking to learn more about AI and to stay ahead of the AI wave of change. So, we come together every single week to talk about what we're working on, what we find very interesting about AI, and essentially teach it to the rest of our community. It's become a very close knit and growing community where we have incredible people. We've had speakers from Google, well, with experience from Google, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Bloomberg, BMW, Coinbase, Vanguard. The list goes on and on. Oracle as well. And so we have a lot of great talent in our community, and we do it every single week. We have it live streamed on YouTube, we live stream it on LinkedIn, we have Twitter, Instagram, everything. And right now we're getting around a solid 100 to 150 people per week, and it's really nice for a weekly event that we're getting these kinds of community members. And now we're also partnered with Miami-Dade College, so we're now hosting our events over at Miami-Dade College and with various other locations. And I believe that's just testament to the value of the education and the community that we're providing.
And you don't have to be an AI engineer to go to GPT Tuesdays Miami, right, Grant?
That's right. That's right. We have community members from all stripes, right? Whether you're a product manager or you're looking into creating content, or you are an engineer. It's all good, right? And what's great is that it's all about sharing our knowledge from our particular sectors. And so that's what it's about. If you're building with AI, you're using AI, and you want to share it, that's what we're all about. And we do have a lot of great engineers and developers, and they're really great to chat with and to learn more from, because they're using it at scale a lot of times. And so we love to kind of team up with people, and so that everyone's knowledge can be absorbed.
Yeah, as Grant was saying, you see a variety of different people that go there, not just engineers, but uh, business people, small business people coming in. Grant, what would you tell the audience? How important is AI now and in the future? Is it? I mean, should you implement it in your everyday life now?
Absolutely. So this is a question that I get a lot. Grant, is AI going to take my job, or is it, going to, reduce my employment? Do I need to be worried or anything? And I say, touching on this, I say, essentially make sure that you're integrating AI tools into your daily life. Things like ChatGPT, Claude, image creation, video generation, etc. Because these tools are going to be getting better and better. And the people that learn these tools are going to be ahead, and their productivity is going to be increased substantially. And I think that those that don't learn the tools and whatever is out there are going to have less productivity in comparison. And so, just by that nature, I think everyone, I implore everyone that's watching this to be integrating these tools into their daily lives, and to try to stay ahead, right? And that's where GP Tuesdays comes in too. Is that by joining a community, it doesn't have to be GP Tuesdays. It could be any AI community or any community that's looking to stay ahead of innovation. Join those communities. And so that way you can be mentored by the great people. You can learn what's new and what's coming, and you can stay ahead.
And this leads me to my next question is, what advice would you give to a person looking to break into AI or the
Mm,
industry itself?
right. And so this question can be broken down also into many subcategories, like, what are you trying to break into, in the sense of, are you trying to become an engineer, are you trying to learn more about the toolage to become a better product manager, right, or a marketer, right? There's a lot of different areas that you could be looking to move into. So I'll first start with, maybe the generative AI side. And on the development side, as a developer, I kind of just, I'm aware of this stuff, so I'm, very in tune. um, I I would, if you're looking to learn more about a programming language, I would say learn Python, or JavaScript or something like this, so you can learn TypeScript and make a full stack application. But if you want to just be focused on artificial intelligence, right, and machine learning and generative AI, then Python is a good one, because it's the best one, because most of the ecosystem revolves around it. It's usually what people utilize PyTorch with, etc. So it's very, very important. So yeah, learn some Python. I would, if you want to go on the generative AI side, you want to start using ChatGPT and Claude, and these different systems into your APIs. Then learn a framework for an API framework, and essentially look at the OpenAI documentation. Right, this is what I often say: look at the documentation for OpenAI and Anthropic. And Anthropic is the creator of Claude AI, and so look at that documentation. Really learn what it means to do a solid prompt, because 80 to 90%, if not more, of your agent is going to be reliant on a good prompt. If you have a bad prompt, you're not going to get the right results. And if you don't have a prompt at all, well, you're going to have nothing. So yeah, I would say really learn the quality of prompts and how to do it, right? Things like adding a role, right? You are a professional, Twitter poster, right? And then give it like a goal. Your goal is to, write incredible. Your goal is to write a Twitter post that incorporates a few of these. I don't know, the date, the time, and some of the title of this presentation, right? And give it a style, a voice, right? Maybe give it, a little bit of some examples, of course, of previous tweets that you liked, and in the form that you also enjoyed, and it can replicate that as well. So I would say, Python, learn some Python if you want to do on the development side, and then look at the prompting documentation. But if you're a person that is not looking to go into software engineering, then I would say, um, well, also backing up as well, for back to software engineering, also learn machine learning and deep learning. Of course, I would recommend looking in textbooks to get deeper onto the machine learning side, and all of that will be very useful by learning Python. So yeah, Python, then learn, some generative AI and machine learning. And after that, if let's say that you're a content person, yeah, go ahead and please look up also how to prompt in the documentation of OpenAI's documentation. Take whatever courses you can that will help you make your prompts even better, and just learn the best tools out there, and just start playing with them. Just start integrating them somehow in your daily life, right? You were talking about video editing, right? Opus AI. Start using Opus AI. If you want to use different chat systems, use ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini Pro to see what reasons they're better for different functions, right? Maybe with your long form content, you want to use Google Gemini Pro. Maybe for Claude, you want it for better writing. Maybe for ChatGPT, you want it better for data analysis. Maybe if you're in video editing, yeah, use Descript, or as we talked about, Opus, or use things like Pika Labs or Runway ML. And now there's a new one too that you talked about. The name escapes me as well. I think it started with Dream or something. It started with a D. But anyways, yes, and of course Sora, as we know, is coming out soon with OpenAI, which is going to be able to create amazing videos with just a few sentences and a prompt. So, and as you can see, even the image generation comes from good prompts. So learn how to do prompting for each of these systems, whether it's video editing, image generation, and video generation. And text generation.
Yeah, there's so much different avenues. I've heard, kids helping out restaurants, taking pictures of their food and correcting it through AI. So it could be as you don't have to be AI rocket scientist. You just go to your local business. Hey, I can help you out with your photos. I can help you out with this and that, correct with AI or whatever, or do like a voice agent with which is what Grant is working on. Which leads me to my next question: what is the future of AI? How do you see it in a couple months or in a year from now?
I mean, honestly, this question I almost feel is too hard. It's hard to put a time on these things because it could be an S curve, it could be it could be parabolic, it could be exponential. But I mean, I think the future is clear that AI is going to become incredibly intelligent. I think that there's going to be a moment of singularity and super intelligence as well. I don't know. It doesn't, because they're not bounded. AI is not going to be bounded by a single brain. It's going to have an entire network of nodes of machines that can help increase intelligence. So where do I see it? I see it being able to create incredible forms of text, provide incredible invention, being able to cure the deadliest of diseases, being able to provide us the essentially bring us to post scarcity, right? But and also bring us to next levels of intelligence as humans. I could see all of us reaching much higher intelligence levels than we are now through integration of these machines and potentially AI and human symbiosis and synergy. So yeah, the future is going to be very interesting. I think within our lifetimes, we'll see, the very grand elements of the change of AI. I think we'll see almost all of that in our lifetime because of how fast it's moving, and it could even be within a decade or two, right? So that's why I think that we should all be leveraging these tools and technologies so that as the technologies improve, and just imagine your productivity because you're working with an AI agent that's incredibly intelligent, that's as productive as 100 people in your realm, right? And then imagine 1,000. So that's why I think it's really important that we just stay ahead. And yeah,
I think staying ahead is definitely one of the key phrase right there because you don't want to stay behind. You don't want to be the blockbuster to Netflix. You want to stay ahead
yeah,
in your company, in your ecosystem professionally. I don't know if AI can get into our social circles, but you never
mhm,
know. You gotta be
in the
prepared. There you
future.
have it. Grant Kurz, tell us before we close more information about GPT Tuesday Miami and the best way to reach you online.
Just go to GP Tuesdays on Twitter, at signs for Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, you name it. Just the GP Tuesdays handle for all of those. Go ahead and give us a follow. And absolutely, you can reach us at any time at GP Tuesdays at Miami-Dade College, the AI Center where we're hosting, and our warm, wonderful, and brilliant community is always here to welcome you.
And how can people reach you personally on the
Oh,
socials?
absolutely. Yeah, instead of GP Tuesdays as a handle, just reach out to me on Twitter at Grant Kurz. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Grant Kurz. And you can even go to our gptuesdays.com website and you can drop me an email at, grantkurz@gmail.com or grant at gptuesdays.com.
Yeah, and I encourage everyone if you're in Miami, go to these meetings. GPT Tuesdays, Miami Dade, and if you're not in Miami, try to look for a meetup in near your area in your city because it's very important to learn this stuff to catch up. Maybe join a Facebook group and learn new stuff because there's always new technologies coming out every day, every month. And don't forget about Sora because Sora is going to be a huge thing in Hollywood. Anyways, Grant, really grateful that you come on and tell us your technologies, and I really appreciate you coming on to the Sleon Productions podcast. Any closing words before we go?
That I think that's it. You touched it all. You covered it all. Let's all stay ahead. Let's win together. Let's stay together. Let's grow together. Thank you, Sam.
And thank you, Grant, for coming on to the Sleon Productions podcast.